All right, you guys, on today's episode of Acclima TDR versus Meter Group Teros12, I think it's safe to put the nail in the coffin already. The biggest issues that I discussed in the previous videos were that the Acclima TDR, as you can see right here, the mean is at 56%. Those plants are at damn near full saturation right now. They don't even have roots busting out of the cubes like that yet. I know for a damn fact they're not all the way down at 56%. The meter group stock reading is at 73%, and I know that that's not calibrated for my rock wool, so it's a little high. The mean on mine is perfect because I calibrated the water content curve to the specific rock wool cubes that I'm using. So that calibration, my calibration for water content is this dark blue line. The meter group Teros12 is the lighter blue line, and the lightest blue, almost white line is the Acclima TDR. So we'll look at the water content there, and then the pore water EC, that light gold or yellow line is the Acclima TDR, and then the orange line, there's actually another line behind it. You can't see it. It's my custom calibration. There's that one, and then there's the meter group calibration there. So those two are actually so close to each other that it looks like they're the same line. And if you look at the dry back overnight, you can see all of them dried back just fine. They look the same, but there's one big difference. The Acclima TDR pore water EC is flatlined right above 2 EC. There's a small amount of dip from this point to here, and that's opposite of what we're seeing in our Teros12s in the same zone, mind you. Then when the water content starts to go up from our irrigations, you can see the stair-step approach that's taken by the two top lines, the meter group Teros12s. The Acclima is like stuck on stupid, barely recognizes any change the first few events, and then shoots up after the irrigation events are already done. And then the pore water EC, you can kind of see it doesn't stair step down. It shows just kind of a weird flatline reading. Looking at zone 2, we kind of see that same situation, right? The Teros12s are stair stepping up in water content, and the Acclima TDR is flatlined and then finally recognizes, hey, there was a large watering, or hey, I got wet, let me catch up, right? On the pore water EC, we can see overnight the Teros12s are actually rising in pore water EC. It's stacking in the medium, and the TDR stays basically flatline. And then it has these weird ass camelback humps that don't mean shit. Right where the pore water EC should be dropping, it's spiking and doing weird, behavior. And then again, to verify this data, we have zone 3, right? And we see the same exact behavior, where the Acclima TDR doesn't show the water content increase gradually. It just shows one stupid jump at the end. And in the pore water EC, you can see how it behaves. There's just a block where there was a spike, and that's, I'm assuming, where the salt started to get released from stacking overnight, even though it doesn't show that there was any stack, right? So it's just horrible, horrible. The Acclima is just a complete turd, in my opinion. You might as well run a Trollmaster. I would put Acclima TDR just slightly above Trollmaster. Honestly, it might be about the same. So I hope this video was helpful. The Acclima TDRs are trash. I won't even be running them the rest of my grow. I'm going to be pulling them out and running Teros12s. So I hope this data was enough for you guys to make up your own decisions about these sensors. And just to help a little bit more, I'll show you the 24-hour averages and see if that helps. So in the 24-hour averages, this is going back 7 days. Let's go back 30 days. And the scale on this is going to be slightly messed up because of the huge spikes there at the beginning. But you can see the Acclima TDRs stayed way too wet. They started at like 90 and 80% water content, that white line towards the top. So they read way too high upon initial saturation. They take several days for that to come down and start reading normal levels, and then it reads too low. So the pour water EC is always reading a tiny bit lower than the Teros12s, but also doesn't show the same level of sensitivity. So therefore is not as reliable in my opinion. All right, we'll continue testing. Let me know what sensors you guys would like to see compared next, and we'll do the research for you and post the results. Later.